So today is the 1st of May and we're looking at some courgette plants that were sown into these modules on the 29th of March. As you can see, they're doing quite well. 2 didn't germinate, but 4 did. I'm quite happy with that. As the temperature increases, these are going to really grow on quite quickly. So we've got our true leaves on each of the plants now, and they'll really start to accelerate now the weather's warming up. So one of the first jobs we're going to do is put these into their own dedicated pots, another size or 2 up. That will give them a bit more room to grow until they're ready to plant out. So one of the things I like to do before we pot these on is to sieve the soil, and this will make sure that we get rid of some of the bigger lumps that are in this peat-free compost. So let's give this a bit of a sieve, and then all we're left with are the big lumpy bits that we don't really want in our mix. So we've got quite a nice sifted mix now. There are still some bigger bits in there, but we can pick those out in a minute. The other thing I quite like to do at this stage is just to add a bit more vermiculite to the soil, which will help us with drainage. So I'm just going to add a handful in there and just give that a good mix in. That will just give us a nice base for our plants and add a little bit of extra moisture retention for them. And there we go, we've got a nice mix for our courgette plants. So let's get these into some bigger pots. So I'm going to go with this size pot. This is a 13cm pot and will give our courgette just enough room to grow on for another month before we decide to pop him out. So let's get a bit of soil in the bottom and let's take the first one of our plants out with its module. And there we go, we can see already that it's got quite a good root structure, so it's definitely wanting to go into something bigger. So we'll pop him in there and then just simply fill around the sides. And what we'll do is we'll give it a tap and then push down the soil just to make sure we don't have any air gaps around the edges, and then top that up again. And give it a firm down. So this one's ready to go, so all we need to do is just water this one in now and move on to the rest and get them all into big pots. So now that's had a good soak and we'll finish all of the rest off. So there we go, that was an easy job. Last thing to do is just make sure we pop our label back in so that we don't forget what variety of plant this is. And there you go, that's potting on a courgette plant.